welcome everyone to Roll On Down the Highway, a BTO classic. God, the vocals are just so unique. Randy Bachman, of course, this is a great showcase for his playing style. We are in standard tuning. I got a lot of this off of a video on YouTube. I can't remember. It was at a ballroom, I think. I'm not sure. Anyhow, I'll put a link below the video if you want to watch the video. But there's actually some pretty good shots of him playing this song. And we'll talk about a couple differences between how he plays it live and what he's doing in the studio that I hear. There are definitely two guitars on this. So I've written out both guitars for you in my tab, which is available in the link below the video. And I want to thank everybody again for letting the ads play. It gets me a little extra cash that helps me, keep going, really. So thank you. And we'll get into the lesson. Like I said, we're in standard tuning. Let's cover the intro as far as guitar 1. All right, this is more of the first position guitar, if you will. So what he does, and I think a lot of people overlook, the first thing we're going to do is hit the open 5th string. But there's a slide from 3 to 4. A lot of people just go, it's more of a, it's subtle, but it's there. And I'll show you why as we continue the lick. It's more in this first position. When you end on the 3rd fret, come back to that open string, it's nice to slide into that 4th fret. Okay, so we start out with an open 5th string. Then we hit the 3rd fret of the 4th string, slid into 4 very quickly, back to 2, and then the 4th string opened twice. All right. At this point, what we want to do is switch positions. We're going to hit the open 5th string, hammer into the 1st fret. So now we're at the 1st position. So we're hammering to open, hammering into 1, back to open, and then landing on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. Lay your finger down and catch the 3rd fret of the 5th string with some vibrato. Okay, so that whole lick together, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do that one more time. Let's go through this lick. We'll do it 3 times before we go into a little bit different part of this intro. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've done that lick 3 times. Now we're going to go into a D chord. Again, we're sticking with the first guitar, and it's just going to be a D at the first position. So we're going to do a da-da-da, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to put a D sus4, so we'll put our pinky down on that 3rd fret. We'll hit that chord twice before we take it off and hit a D on just a regular D. Then we're going to put that pinky back on, and we'll strike it 3 times before we take it off. All right, so we have this. So for Randy's guitar part, you can clearly see him playing parts of an A to B chord. He'll be playing on the 5th and 4th string, referencing that A chord. But we're not using the 6th string. So what we're going to do is hit the 7th fret of the 5th and 4th string, then we'll hit the 9th fret, and then pull that back off to 7. Then he quickly goes referencing a D, but he adds this suspended, which is really a G chord. Okay, so we're adding from the 7th fret of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. We'll be adding the 8th and 9th fret on the 2nd and 4th string, respectively. Alright, so we have this so far. Then he goes into an A sharp, just a triad on the 2nd string at the 6th, 7th, and 8th fret on the, let's say, 2nd string, 6th, 3rd string, 7th, 8th fret of the 4th string. It's a down and then down up. Move that up to a B sharp. And then do the lick again. We'll do it 3 times. So let's do it together 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now at this point, the first guitar goes up to that D in the first position. I expected Randy to go up to D here and play the suspended up here. But watching him live, he goes back to the 5th root D, all right, and he adds that suspended 4th on the 2nd string, but it'll be up here at the 8th fret. And he adds the root note on the 1st string, which will be, we're referencing a D chord, so he adds a D note on the 1st string at 10. I've never seen anybody do that as far as when they're doing a suspended. So I learned something. You know, maybe you guys have seen it before, but anyhow, so it's going to be down, up, down on the D, and then we'll add the suspended with the 1st and 2nd string, all right, and we'll hit that, and then again, and then off, and then 3 more times on, and then once off. So it'll sound like this. Really, really cool move. Again, I'm always learning something on the guitar, so it's just wonderful to pass that on to you guys if you've never seen that, because I think I'm going to be using that a lot now. Okay, so after that point, there is a very quick lick which leads us into the verse that Randy does. He doesn't do it live, but in the studio version, you'll hear this. So what he's doing at the 10th fret of the 6th string, hammering into 12, and then quickly hitting 10 on the 5th string. And then he goes right into the D chord, and we'll be adding the 6th, or a pinky, all the way up from that 12th fret up to 14. Okay, so there's some real technique to what he's doing. And I'll talk about what he's doing on the recording versus live, because again, he kind of lays back a little bit, lets that first guitar sing out, and he's doing some other things that are, you know, really represent the recording, but just a little bit different. So we'll switch gears for verse 1 back to guitar 1. Guitar 1's doing your basic rock and roll by adding our 6th or pinky 2 frets above the chord. So we're going to be adding the 9th fret to our D chord at the 5th position. All right, we'll do that 4 times. 1, 2, 3. Then we slide Do the same thing on C. Go to B flat. B flat, then we go to an A7 sus4. So it's basically, take your A, keep your middle finger off there so the G string is open. Add your pinky down because we're going to be taking it off. So we're going to hit the root note, the chord with our pinky down on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, and then the whole chord off. So that'd be an A7. So the last. Okay, that whole bit will repeat for verse 1. Now, guitar 2, what Randy's doing is quite a bit different. And like I said, live, he lets it breathe a little bit and does more of a chord rather than a 7th chord and so forth with the suspended. But we've come in with the lick right into our D up here at the 10th fret, 12th fret. We're going to be adding our pinky. Now we'll do this twice, all right? So the second time when we lift off our pinky, we're going to hit a full D7. So we'll keep the pinky off the 4th string, but let all the other strings ring. All right, so we have this. Then we'll hit it again. Put our pinky finger down on the 3rd string at the 12th fret, keeping that middle finger there on the 11th fret, and then we'll lift off. And then another chord strike, and then the 6th. And off. So we have this very slowly. I know it's kind of confusing, and like I said, I'll show you what I see Randy doing live. So we have this, and this is what I think the recording is doing. And we'd move it down the exact same thing. So we're moving down from to a C, and then to a B flat, exact same rhythm, and then A. And even the A is the same exact rhythm, again, on the recording. All right. If you watch the live video, you'll see Randy kind of doing he just kind of moves to the full chord, if you will, but he's using a triad here on the 5th, 4th, and 3rd string with the pinky down and then off. So really, again, what I showed you, what I've written it out, it's in my notes. It'll really help if you're a little confused. But we'll go through it one more time all the way to the A. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat that, okay? So you got the variations in the chords with this A7th and the A7th sus, and it's, again, just your positions. That leads us to chorus 1. Now we're back to guitar 1. First position, what we're going to do is the 4th string open twice, and then we'll hit the 5th string open and hammered into the 2nd fret. Come back to the open fourth. Keep your finger there on that fifth string too, because we'll hit that and then we'll land on the sixth string at the third fret with that G. Alright, we're going to do that 3 times. Get together 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth time, what we're going to do is after we hammer on the second fret of the fifth string, we're going to come back to that open fourth string, but then go to a B flat to C chord. Alright, so that's the chorus for guitar 1. All together, 1, 2, 3, 4. At that point, I'm just calling this the bridge, and I noticed live both guitars do this. So they're doing what Randy does with the D in the intro and the suspended. We'll have a down, up, down, 2 ons with the suspended and off, and then 3 on with 1 off, and that will repeat. That bridges us into verse 2, and it's the same as verse 1. Alright, so let's talk about chorus 1 and what Randy's doing live. Randy's kind of letting the chords speak, if you will. Alright, so when we have 2 hits on that open fourth string, that's a D note. He just hits D power chord twice. And I notice he'll just let that ring sometimes and then come up and end it, because we ended on the third fret of the sixth string G note. He comes up to a G fifth up here at the 10th and 12th fret and hits that twice. So again, live he'll do this. Sometimes he'll add the notes. Sometimes he'll add extra notes. It really depends, but the recording sounds pretty consistent. It's hitting the D chord twice, and then we move up to the sixth string, hitting the 5th fret. All right, at that point we'll hammer into 7 on the 6th string, back to the 5th string at 5, and then back to 7 on the 6th string. And then we can do the 2 G chords. All right, again, here's one more option. Because we're coming up to G, you can just go to the G note on the 6th string if you have 2 guitars and want to change it up a bit. You find this easier. Or even a G chord. Again, I like to give you guys options because there's no set rules. Watch Randy play this. I mean, he varies it up 2 or 3 different times when the camera's on him and you can watch, okay? So that's the chorus, guitar 1 and 2. We bridge. Both guitars seem to do that D suspended up at the 5th root, if you will. And then we're into verse 2. So what Randy's doing at the end when guitar 1 is doing the B flat up to C, he's doing that 6th root. Alright, so we have this. Alright, so I noticed it's a down hit on that B flat, and then a down up down. And then we go to the C, and it's same thing, down, and then down, up, down. And then we're into that little bridge. So at that point, we go into verse 2, chorus 2, exactly like we've learned. And then we'll hear the intro reprise. Then we're into the solo rhythm. The solo rhythm is really the verse. We're going to do that a total of 4 times through. So I've written it out. It'll be really easy to follow. But if you're like me, you're going to be jamming the solo. So nice to have. Got 2 guitars. There you go. But the solo is just so memorable and melodic. And God bless Randy's heart. Even live, he plays it 99% accurate. You know, just a little bit of improvisation there, but we'll go over that solo next. Like I said, the solo rhythm is the verse rhythm, and it's pretty much guitar 2. So got this. So forth. Okay, so that is a solo rhythm. Again, it goes 4 times through. It's a little bit of an extended solo. After the solo, we're back in with what would be chorus 3. Now, chorus 3 has a real specific, this takes us out. Real specific parts for each guitar. Alright? Both guitars will start out with this. I'm just going to play guitar 1. That's one measure. Now, guitar 1 will do another measure of that. So after those first 2 measures of the chorus 3 out, guitar 2 will stop. You'll hear guitar 1 continue on for a half measure. He does that a cappella, if you will. And then we go into the very last measure where guitar 2 comes in with us. We'll go through it 3 times, 4th time when we go to B flat to C, we'll end on D. Alright, so the very last measure. So guitar 2 is just doing the same. Alright, and that's what ends the song. Alright, so that is all the rhythms. So like I said, the solo is just very memorable and so well done. I'm going to go through the first 2 measures, which pretty much focuses here at the 12th position. And it'll sound like this. So what we're doing to start it out, slide in on the 3rd string to 14. Then we're going to do a triplet, 1, 2, 3, but we'll hold that 15 for a little vibrato. One more time. Then we go to the 13th fret of the 1st string and a slight bend, stop, and then we'll hit 15 bent and stopped on that 1st string, and then we'll 15, 13 on that 1st string, unbent to 15 on the 2nd. Alright, so we have this so far. Alright, we're going to basically repeat that 2 more times. After the 3rd time, we're going to come, after hitting 15 with vibrato on the 2nd string, we're going to take off from 15 and go back to 13, 15 on the 1st string with 15 struck again and a bend, 15 bent again, and then 15 to 13 unbent. Come down to the 2nd string, 15 to 13. Then we do a little jump. We're going to move to the 10th position, but we're going to grab the 12th fret of the 3rd string with 2 bends, and then unbent to hitting 10 on that 3rd string, landing on the 4th string at 12 and sliding off. All right. So those first 2 measures together, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, at that point we change positions and you get a little different feel in the lead. We're to the 3rd measure of this solo, and I'm just going to take a second to say this does follow kind of a pattern, and you'll see it as you play it. It's one of those things where my tab will really help, because there's just little variation. Sometimes it's in the mix, other times it's brought out. But what he's doing is this. Let's take the next measure of the solo. Okay, so it's just a lot of back and forth and bends and unbent. We're going to start out 9th fret, 3rd string, 3 bends, and then we'll hit 7 unbent with a little vibrato. Then we come back to 9 bent, and then 7, 9, 7. Alright, so we have this so far. Then we come back 7, 9, 7, 3rd string. The only time he goes to the 2nd string is we're going to hit 10 with a bend, release, and pull off to 7 on the 2nd string, back to 9 bent. Alright, so we have this with the pull-offs from the beginning of this 3rd measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, then we hit it unbent, 9th fret to 7. And then we're going to go, because we left off at 7 with some vibrato, we're going to hit 7, 9, 7, 9, back to 7 one more time. Okay, like I said, it's It's a lot of numbers, but the song is in your head and this is really going along with the melody. So let's take it up to that point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then again, we've left off at 7, so we'll go 7, 9, 7, and then we'll back to 9 for 2 bends, and then 9 unbent to 7. All right, so we have this. And that is the full third measure. I'll take you through it one more time. I'm sorry if this is too repetitive, but again, this will help you get it in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is the end of the third measure. Now we start the fourth measure. Very similar. We're going to bend 9 up on the third string to 7, 9, 7. Then we'll go 7, 9, 7. Then we'll hit 6, slid into 7. Alright, so we're starting at ascension at this point. So let's take it up to that 6 slid into 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hit 7 again. Then we go up to 9, to 11, 12, 14, 16, and then 18. And then we're into the next part of the solo. All right, so let's take it up to that point where we hit it the 18. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our ascension takes us up to 18 on that third string. The next measure will be all on basically the 15th position. So if you lose your pinky, use your pinky. You'll be in position. But what we're going to do is bend 17 on the second string and then catch the first string at 17 3 times before we hit 17 on the second with the bend and release and pull off to 17. Then we're going to hit 17 again on that first string, bent, and then 17 unbent before we go to 17 on the second string, bent and vibratoed, and we'll do that twice. So we have this all together so far. To do a bend and release on 17 and hit 15 twice. Alright, so that next measure, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that leads us to the next measure, which is real similar in style with our bends and releases and striking the notes, all between 17 and 15, and this will be on the second string. So we're going to start out with 2 bends on 17. Alright, that leads us to another walk-up. So what we're doing, 17 bent twice, 17 unbent to 15, then another 17 bent to 15, 17 unbent to 15. All right, and then 15, 17, 15. So that's where we start our walk-up. Again, let's take this next measure to that point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just move back to that 14th position and walk up. We'll be doing second string 14, 15, 17. We'll do the same thing on the first string, 14, 15, 17, and then 19, and then 21. All right? So we have this. All right, at that point, what we're going to do, and this is repetitive in the sense that we'll repeat this last two measures twice. What we're going to do is hit 20, bend that up, and then hit it bent 2 more times. So in my notes, I hit 20, but you're really bending it up to 21. All right, so this is where tab gets difficult to explain, but we're hitting this. And again, we'll do it 4 more times, so a total of 6 times. And then we're going to hit that 20th fret bent 4 times. Then we hit it and release, and then another bend, and then lay off to 17 3 times, and then the second string at 20 bent. So I know it's a lot of notes and just following what he's doing, but again, it's one of those memorable things that you can almost play it because you've heard it so many times. All right, so that second to last 2 measures. That whole thing will repeat again, and that is the end of the song. That is a solo. So again, I know my notes will help. I really hope this helps everybody. It's just a joy bringing you these songs, so enjoy.